Hello, we are live. Okay, let's just make sure that we're live before we go and dive into all of the goodies that I have planned for you today. Okay, we are live. Welcome to the second episode of Align and Allow, the series, the mini weekly morning show series, where we talk all things on doing less, determining your aligned way of work, and receiving and allowing in your next level results as you allow more abundance to flow into your life at the same time by doing less. That's the whole point of what we're talking about today. And there are a bunch of polls that went out in the Facebook group last week and earlier this week about what it is that you want from this group. I am here to serve up all the goodness to you, to give you the tips, to give you the mindset shifts, to give you the tools that you need to actually be implementing these things and start doing these things in your life right now. That's the whole point of what this community is about. And the top two poll answers that we got was, one, you wanted to know the strategies and the tools for actually doing less and being able to implement that in a really straightforward and easy to digest way on a day-to-day basis, which is what this whole series is about. And number two was engagement and being able to connect with like-minded human beings, like-minded entrepreneurs or ambitious women, which is also what you're getting from these live series, from this weekly episode that you're getting by commenting in the chat, coming and connecting with each other, reaching out. And there's a lot more things that we're going to be doing in this group for that, but that's just kind of the summary. So when you hop on, say hello, let me know that you're here, tell me where you are joining in from. If you are catching the replay, comment #replay so that I can come and hang out with you later. Again, the engagement aspect, creating a community here, that is what we want to be doing together. So in these weekly Align and Allow series, in these weekly episodes, we're going to be talking practical tips, mindset shifts, and techniques that will allow you to be in alignment across all areas of your life. So it doesn't matter if you are an entrepreneur or a professional or a mom, or you're just figuring out what it is that you want to do next, or you are stepping into your career or wanting to get a new job, wherever it is that you're at, getting the alignment first, getting into alignment with how you want to be showing up, what it is that's important to you. That's what we're going to be serving up here for you. So let me know when you're here. Oh, here are the comments. Hello. Okay, now I know. I'm figuring out there's a whole new system here with the lives. Hey, Tasha. Hey, Penny. Nice to see you. Let me know where you're coming in from. Oh, Tasha says we're watching the car. So fun. So fun. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is how to use Cancer season to do less. And each week, we're going to be having a little topic, a few main points, and then you're going to be leaving with an aligned action for things that you can actually start implementing right now, short, sweet, and simple. And my goal for these episodes is to make them like maximum 15 minutes. So we're going to see how that goes, because we all know your girl loves to chat a lot, especially if there's people watching and engaging in the comments. Okay. So the three things that we're going to be talking about today for using Cancer season to do less is, first of all, why we need to go deep, and how my clients who are willing to go deep with what they're doing and with their mindset around incorporating rest and actually implementing the strategies for that get more of what they want sooner. There's a huge piece of Cancer season that goes into that, so I'm super excited for us to be diving in there. Then using energy management and embodiment, and I'm going to show you how I teach that in life, in work, and in business so that you can actually create a solid foundation for doing less. Again, it's kind of the question of like, okay, doing less is easy, but then when I go and try and do it and like I have all these things on my to-do list, like how do I actually streamline it down, right? And then finally, we're going to actually talk about what a rhythm of rest looks like as part of your strategy and how to use Cancer season right now to actually harness that energy, why right now is the best time to start reflecting on your work-life balance, okay? Let me know if you have questions as we go through this. I'm going to move this over so I can see all of your comments. And let's dive in so that we can keep this under 15 minutes. Let's try it. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be great. Okay, so starting with the first point, incorporating and using Cancer season to start doing less in your life. So this is why my clients get these results of actually shifting into creating more rest and incorporating more rest and getting their next level goal results sooner, right? Like we're teaching strategy of how to step into your aligned way of working so that you can get your next level, right? That is why we're doing this. It's that outcome. It's that time freedom vision. It's that next level goal that you're wanting to achieve. And what I want to talk about here is what my clients go deep into. And the ones who are like super committed to this are the people who get their results the fastest. And what it comes down to is the mindset of rest. And when we look at life and societal conditioning and how we are taught to work and how we are taught to achieve things and the amount of things that we have been conditioned we need to do, or the pressures that we're putting on ourselves, it all comes down to these beliefs, this dominant hustle narrative belief system that makes rest a bad thing. We have this connotation around rest meaning it's lazy, or you're being lazy if you need to rest, or you're being lazy if you sleep in. I don't know maybe anyone here has heard the phrase, don't sleep the day away, or feeling guilty for sleeping in. And I know that that's something I still have to check myself on of, okay, now I felt like I wasted time when I could have been productive, or feeling like you need to be productive at every single moment, and being able to notice when that happens and start shifting that mindset. So you're starting to incorporate essentially more of a mindset of rest. And what I want to give you here as a mindset shift around that is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And this, again, like I said before, it's kind of a weird concept where we think, oh, I don't really need to do too much in order to do less. And then the question comes up, well, why are you still doing so much? Why are you still feeling anxious about everything that's on your to-do list? Why are you still in the cycle of overworking? And it's like, okay, well, it's not about the fact that I'm not aware of those things. It's just the processes that I've been working through, this way that I've been conditioned to work. Those are so hardwired into how we are showing up that it actually takes some deeper mindset work in order to shift those things. So getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is a mantra that you can literally start to repeat to yourself when you intentionally start to incorporate more rest. So we need to intentionally be incorporating more rest. Again, it's this feeling of, oh, it's easy, I just don't do as much. And it's like, well, if you're hardwired to do, then it's not going to be easy to shift out of that. It can be simple, it might not be easy. And that's where we want to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. The second shift that I want to give you here is that rest is not a reward. And we're going to talk about that when we talk about cancer season. But we want to be really intentional with how am I incorporating rest? How do I schedule it in my calendar? How do I do things every single day or every single week that really allow me to step away from a high pressure environment, a high pressure situation where I'm doing things that are contributing to the next level goal that I'm creating, that are contributing to my work that someone else is going to be looking at? And how do I come back into a low pressure environment where I'm doing things just for the sake of enjoyment, just for the sake of fun? And it can feel, again, really uncomfortable because we feel like if we're not doing something productive, then we're not moving forward. And that's just simply not the truth. We want to be incorporating rest as a rhythm because it's actually it's that core key piece of your strategy that's going to enable you to get more done when you are working, to be more productive, to be more focused, to tap into this next level creativity about how you want to be doing things and how you're moving forward with things, okay? So that is step number one. Let me know if you have any questions, drop them below. And me looking at the time right now, we're going to jump on to the next point. And the next point that we're going to talk about coming into the context of cancer season and how to do less in this season is I'm going to share with you how I use and teach energy and embodiment in life and in work and in business so that you can really create your solid foundation for doing less. So we just kind of touched on the mindset piece before. Now we're talking about what's the foundational groundwork that you need to do so that you can start to do less, right? And what I want to give you here is that what we want to do is bring the feminine flow back into the equation. And this is a major pillar of the time freedom framework. That's what I work through with my one-on-one clients in our VIP coaching. But basically what this means is the feminine energy, the feminine flow is like, how do we bring more intuition and more creativity and more rest and pleasure into the way that we're working? Again, there is a very dominant way that we have been taught to work, that we have been taught to show up in. And it really focuses on structure and it focuses on consistency and it focuses on these goals and making sure that we're focusing on our accomplishments. And it's more about that outcome that we're creating as opposed to the process of being in it. And so focusing on the feminine flow, and I say this every time, but I want to just emphasize that this is not about, masculine versus feminine in terms of gender or in terms of sex. It literally is energies that we have within us. It's the yin and the yang. It's like, how do we balance ourselves out? And we all have both of these energies. We all have parts of masculine energies within us and parts of feminine energies within us in the ways that we show up. And that can vary from different parts of your life. But when it comes to work, most of us, not all of us, but a huge amount of us, especially in the Western society, in the Western world, have the masculine energy dominating the way that we're working. And so that's why this feminine flow is a huge aspect of what we want to start bringing back in to balance out how we are showing up. And when we bring in that feminine energy, that feminine flow, like I said, what that looks like is intuition. And it also looks like managing our energy, bringing our body back into the equation. Again, when we talk about the dominant work structures, it's very much, okay, here's your structure, get the perfect structure, and then just execute it. And there's no more question or integration around how am I feeling today? Do I have the energy to do this today? Okay, I don't. How can I adjust this? Or how am I feeling emotionally? And how can I start to show up in a way that is in alignment with where I am currently at? And we want to, of course, be really intentional with how we do that, because we don't want it to get to the point where it's like, oh, I'm just tired, I'm just not going to do this. We want to be so connected to our intuition and to our guidance, and then to this energy management that, okay, I'm not feeling the way I want to feel. How can I shift myself back into how I want to feel so that I can show up and get shit done, essentially, right? So creating that foundation for doing less comes from doing that energy and embodiment management. And so what I would love for you to just start thinking about is, how can you do that now? Like, where in your life do you recognize that your energy isn't where you want it to be? And that could literally be like, I feel tired, I feel drained. Or that could be like, every time I come and sit to do this particular task, I feel irritated, or it never goes smoothly, or, I'm constantly feeling overwhelmed by this particular part of my work or this particular task. And just noticing where there's a little bit of friction, because that's going to be the indicator for you of where do you need to start managing your energy, okay? That is point number 2. Let me check the time. Oh, we're good. We are good. I'm very impressed. Okay, so point number 3, how to use Cancer season to do less. So what this comes down to, we've talked about mindset, we've talked about embodiment and energy management as your foundation. Now what we're talking about is, what does your rhythm of rest look like as part of your strategy? And I talk about this all the time. Your rhythm of rest, that's basically what that means. What that concept is about is, how are you incorporating rest as a rhythm as opposed to making it a reward? As soon as we make it a reward, it's something that we need to earn, something that we need to deserve, because we're not deserving of it now. And that is just simply not true. If we constantly put it as that dangling carrot in front of the horse and we're never going to get it, it's constantly being pushed back because another to-do's come up or another commitment thing is here and we need to do this thing for this other person, it's just not made a priority for us. And we want to shift that into making it a priority for ourselves. And that's where that rhythm of rest comes in. And when you bring in that rhythm of rest, then that's essentially making it part of your strategy of how you show up to work and how you show up to work towards that next level goal. And the reason that I want to tie it in with Cancer season, first of all, is because Cancer season just started a couple days ago, but also because Cancer season is such a perfect time to be harnessing the energy for creating more balance in your life. And what I just want to bring in here, and we talked about this in the last Align and Allow episode, but when we're talking about astrology, and maybe you have heard a lot about this and you're like, oh my God, I love that we're talking about this. Maybe this is your first kind of introduction to this and you're like, okay, this seems strange, or I don't know enough about this, or I don't know if I believe it. Basically, what we're just talking about is like a collective energy. And we are talking about energy management in our bodies. That's something that, I talk about all the time. I talk about my work with my clients. And if you've been around here long enough, you know that comes up a lot. And now it's just about talking about it in the greater scheme of things. It's like an energy that all of us are collectively feeling. And so if it doesn't resonate with you to go into all of the terminology and words, that's okay. But I encourage you to be open-minded to the idea that, we're all existing in this energy and we feel it inside of us. That's our own personal energy management. But then there's things that happen outside of us that we can't really control. We can't control how that person responds over there. And we can't control that. This is just how the energy is. It's not an excuse to, to say, oh, it's this energy and therefore I'm acting like this. No, not at all. It's about awareness, and it's about being able to harness it for your own benefit, to take advantage of it. So when we talk about Cancer season, and using this to bring in your rhythm of rest, what we want to talk about today is reflecting on how you can use this energy to create a daily practice. And this is a daily practice that my clients do and that I do as well, that really enables you to have more of what you want, more money, more time, more ease, more energy, all of those good things. So Cancer in general, I'm just going to give a quick little summary for you. Cancer season is associated with the ocean, with home, with family, with security, safety, and self-nurturing. So it's very much this, how do I feel grounded in my space, in my home environment? It's like this cozy feeling, wanting to be secure, wanting to feel nurtured, like thinking like cozy story time with like your mom or your dad when you were little. And it's just like this very much security, safety feeling. And because as adults, we have so much of this external focused energy, we're busy making this thing happen and we're busy at work over here and we're doing all these things. It's important for us to have this time to kind of come back and tune in, come back to our intuition and have space and intentionally create this time to reground ourselves in our quote unquote home environment. And I want to just say that like, that's just an umbrella term. Like your home environment can mean many things. It doesn't need to like literally be your physical home. Okay. It could be how you feel like within yourself, in your body, for example. And so yeah, this whole season, this whole Cancer season is really about tuning back into that, finding that inner peace, finding that inner grounding, stability, tuning back into your intuition. How can you trust yourself more? How can you find security within yourself? And that really ties back in so well to the whole conversation around energy management and embodiment, because that is the practice of trusting yourself, of trusting that your body is letting you know, hey, we need to stop right now because we are about to like burn out, or I feel really motivated right now, but only to work on this thing. And I know that if I do this, we could knock it out in 30 minutes. How can we tune into that as opposed to feeling like we need to confine ourselves to the structure? Structure is super important. If you know me, you know, I talk about structure all the time. I love structure, but there needs to be the balance between the two. Again, it's this balance between the masculine and the feminine energies. Okay. So this is really a great time to use this energy to bring yourself back into this place of inner peace, into this place of balance. It's a great time to like take care of your home, like your physical environment, your body home, how you feel grounded within yourself. And part of that, and again, this comes back to the mindset and the energy management and embodiment management, is setting healthy boundaries for your energy, setting healthy boundaries for your heart, so your emotions. Like, where can you nurture yourself more? How can you set these boundaries up so that you can protect your home environment, whatever that means to you right now, okay? So those are the 3 points, and I want to leave you with your aligned action. Okay, we're doing good. We're at 17 minutes. I feel like that's like pretty promising. Plus my computer is about to die, so that's where we're at. We have to wrap it up. So here are your aligned actions. They're also in the description so that you can take some time over the next couple days until we meet again next week to journal on these. And this is a standard part of the Align and Allow series. You are going to be getting not just tips and tricks and strategies and mindset shifts throughout these episodes, but also an aligned action that you can actually go and start implementing. Sometimes it'll be a journal prompt, sometimes it'll actually be a piece of a strategy, whatever it is, but it's something that you can take and start shifting things right away in your own life. So there are 2 questions that I have for you. And the first one is, where do I need more work-life balance? That's what this season is all about. So how can you take some time and start to reflect on where this needs to happen in your life? Is it, you know, needing more consistent rhythm of rest throughout the week? Do you feel like you haven't had a full weekend off in a while? Are you just generally overworking? Where are you at with your work-life balance? And in what ways is it not the way that you would like it to be right now? So take some time and reflect on that. And then the second question you can ask yourself both questions, but also tuning into which one feels most in alignment for you right now, is how can I nurture and mother myself more right now? So again, Cancer is all about taking care of ourselves. How can we nurture that part of ourselves that needs to feel that security, that needs to feel taken care of? And with that, bring more of that slowing down and rest energy into my life. So when we nurture ourselves, like literally thinking of ourselves as like this little infant baby, we're not doing the most with the little infant baby, right? Like we can't be going on hikes and doing the most work. Like we need to slow down and like be present with this baby. And sometimes that's like just holding the baby and we're not really doing anything else, right? So just with that energy in mind, like how can we slow down so that we create space to nurture ourselves? So if you, again, are hopping on for the replay, let me know that you're here so that I can come over and say hello. That was episode 2 of Align and Allow. Thank you so much for joining me, and I cannot wait to see you again next week. Keeping it short and sweet, and hear all your responses either in the comments or in the DMs. Have a lovely Wednesday, my loves.